Hello everyone. I thought I'd do a little catch up with the last couple of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes. Normally I wait about a week to do a video on each new S.H.I.E.L.D. episode. However, seeing as the last one was so many weeks ago, I thought I'd do sort of a double feature with that episode and the one that just aired this last Tuesday. Brand new episode. The one from several weeks ago, before the hiatus, was called T.R.A.C.K.S. And it's an acronym, again, for what I don't know. I have no idea. The one that just aired is called T.A.H.I.T.I, and it is also an acronym. I don't know what it's for, but it's clearly an acronym, whereas T.R.A.C.K.S, they just basically took the word tracks and put a bunch of dots in it to make it look like an acronym, just like S.H.I.E.L.D. They did the same thing with the episode, you know, they made it an acronym. I don't know why they do that. They're just trying to be funny or something. So neither of these two episodes are my favorites, particularly T.R.A.C.K.S. T.R.A.C.S is an episode where it uses a device that I've seen many times before in films and in television programs, where you have basically the event seen from one character's point of view or a couple characters' point of view, and then it switches and you see how things played out from another character, and you slowly get more information. More is revealed as the episode goes on. Nothing particularly surprising there. I mean, there's surprises, but as far as the technique goes, I could take it or leave it. I mean, it's interesting, but nothing particularly fresh about it. The technology used to impair Coulson and Ward and make them think that the train that they had just jumped off had vanished into thin air was, I thought, the technology that they were after, but it wasn't actually. That was the extension for Mike Peterson's leg, his removed leg that is going to turn him into the character known as Deathlock, a character I really don't know a whole heck of a lot about. By the way, I should just remind everyone who's watching that there are going to be spoilers here, particularly in regards to the newer episode. So you'd best wait to watch this video until after you've seen the episode if you're planning to. The whole thrust of that episode involved the character of Ian Quinn, the bad guy, industrialist, evil, handsome dude, who they tangled with in an earlier episode, and who apparently knows the clairvoyant personally. Clairvoyant being the big bad for the season, it looks like. And he was trying to ship basically this piece of technology on the train, and the S.H.I.E.L.D. team descends on the train and tries to, figure out how to get it from him and what it is, but they fail in doing so. They managed to get Mike Peterson fixed up with this new technology. He's now got the bionic parts, including the eye thing, so he can be manipulated into, taking commands, and also for his leg, basically. The last scene in that episode, T.R.A.C.K.S, was a close-up on the leg itself, the robotic leg, which has the word Deathlock on it. So yeah, he'll come into play later on in the season as someone that S.H.I.E.L.D. has to contend with yet again, but this time as an adversary. Of course, Skye ended up finding Ian Quinn's hideaway, tried to infiltrate it, and ended up getting shot on the orders of the clairvoyant for her trouble. And of course, the team rushed to save her. Now, really, the part of the episode that I liked the best here was this last part right here, where the team is desperate to save her. And before that, of course, they have her basically crawling around on the floor, trying to get to the door, feebly trying to call for help when she's been shot in the gut a couple times. Good acting on the part of Chloe Bennet in this scene right here. I really felt like she was suffering. Of course, she's on the verge of death, so they put her in the hyperbaric chamber and they lower her core body temperature in order to preserve her. And so that's where they leave off the episode. And so the new episode, T.A.H.I.T.I, basically deals with them spending the whole episode trying to save her life and figuring out how to do it. And they figured the best way to do that was to track down the facility where Coulson was revived after being dead for 2 days, and using whatever technology they had there to help her. So here we get into the spoilers. What Coulson discovers is that they have an alien there. I'm not sure if this alien is a frost giant from one of the Thor movies, from the first Thor movie, but it's tall and blue and has pieces of it missing, but they're using its body to create medications and treatments. The one thing that they think might be able to save Skye comes apparently from this creature, which is being held in this facility. There's no one there except for a couple of soldiers, so they bust their way in and hunt around for the thing as best they can. There's this whole sort of investigative thing where they're looking for the S.H.I.E.L.D facility. As it turns out, it wasn't a S.H.I.E.L.D facility, so they use a paper trail of various people and documents and what have you to try and figure out where it is. And once they bust in, they have to contend with a bomb that's set to blow the entire place sky high in like 10 minutes. And they, excuse me, still a little scratchy throat here from being sick. With the bomb, basically, with them breaking in, and then the timer being set for 10 minutes, and it's going to trigger the Semtex all over the place and level the whole facility in the mountain. I just felt it was unnecessary because obviously they only had a short amount of time, but it's not like any of these characters are going to die, really. Bill Paxton, of course, this is his first episode as a S.H.I.E.L.D agent who helps them out on their endeavor. And since he's got 3 episodes left to go, you know he's not going to die, and Coulson's not going to die. He's like the top liner for this show. The only person who was in danger of being killed in this episode was Skye, you know. So yeah, that was kind of unnecessary. But of course, Coulson still managed to venture far enough into the facility in order to look at the hidden door, which has the letters T.A.H.I.T.I, the acronym T.A.H.I.T.I on it, and then he finds the tubes and everything like that, the chamber where the alien's being held. So he knows that whatever they inject into Skye that saved her life doesn't come from Earth, and he's reluctant to let them do it, but of course they do it anyway. As far as dialogue in the show goes, the best lines pretty much all went to Bill Paxton, and why not? You know, he's a great actor, he's a really fun guy, and he has his best moments are when he's confronting Ian Quinn in interrogation, of course. Now, I speculated when they announced Bill Paxton would be guest starring on the show in 4 episodes that he would turn out to be the clairvoyant. If he is, I don't think that Ian Quinn knows it. Ian Quinn has spoken with the clairvoyant on the phone, I think, but probably not met him. And if so, the clairvoyant used a voice disguise or something like that. Because if you heard Bill Paxton talk to you on the phone and then heard him in real life, you know it was the guy you talked to on the phone. So it's possible he is, but it's also possible he's not. Who else could it be exactly? Except for maybe just some actor called in just to play that particular part and not really... But since they're hiding the clairvoyant's identity in much the same way that they were hiding Alpha's identity during the first season of Dollhouse, I figured that it could go either way. It could be Bill Paxton, it could be somebody else, it could be Agent Hand, it could be, we'll see. I really don't know. I haven't really looked at the episodes featuring Agent Hand, that's Saffron Burrows' character, with the possibility that she was the clairvoyant in mind. It's possible, but I wouldn't put money on that right now. My money is still on Bill Paxton if it's anyone. But this episode threw some doubt on that. Anyway, a pretty decent episode. Like I said, the best lines all went pretty much to him. The lines about the tongue, those were funny, and then pretty please it is. That's a good one. So yeah. What's coming up next? Well, Skye's got to recover, and I guess everything is cool with Coulson and S.H.I.E.L.D, despite the fact that he violated their orders. I think that Paxton's character's name is Bartlett. I don't know. I didn't take notes this time. I only just watched the episode the one time. So maybe I'll watch it again before next week's episode. But yeah, still a lot of unanswered questions, and of course the introduction of a brand new villain character at the very end of this one, Lorelei, who comes from a place called Midgard. And I'm thinking, doesn't Midgard have something to do with the Lord of the Rings? It was funny when last fall they had this series on Lifetime called The Witches of East End, and they're like, oh, we come from Asgard. And I'm surprised that no one said Asgard. Is this the place where they wear big red capes and funny helmets and carry around flying hammers? That Asgard? They didn't make that joke, unfortunately. So we have another Midgard, and I have to sort of look up where I've heard Midgard before, because this is the first time I've heard it in a Marvel movie, I think. It could have been mentioned in one of the Thor movies, I don't know. But it sounds like something that happened from came from one of the Lord of the Rings films. You know, you've got Isengard, Middle-earth, Midgard. It just kind of sounds like something from Lord of the Rings. We'll see. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll have a new video on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after the next one airs next week. Thanks very much for watching. Later.